Dreamfolks is the next stock in focus. Well, it's actually been in focus for a number of days now, but right now it's under pressure. It's announced because it announced closure of certain programs for Axis and ICICI Bank cards. Now, let's first get in Mahima with the details, and then would want to dwell on this a bit more because we just recently spoke to the management as well. But Mahima, to you first.
Rightly mentioned, yesterday in their filing they did mention that they have announced closure of certain programs from Axis Bank as well as ICICI Bank from 1st of July. The company has also said that the impact of closure of programs is likely to be material as well, but they've also come out and said that they're committed to make to take actions that will mitigate the overall impact. As you rightly mentioned, last week when we spoke to the management, they'd come out and said that there are no notices that they were receiving from clients for ending any kind of partnership. Of course, it's not an end of partnership, but of course closure of certain programs per se. Now, why banks are choosing to end end partnerships or closure of certain programs? The company did witness a temporary disruption of service in September 2024, post which there was sudden closure in at least 49 lounges across 34 airports in India. And if we see the revenue breakup of the company, 93% of their overall revenue comes from lounging services and 7% of revenue comes from non-lounge services. Now, recently banks are also going through structural changes in terms of where these credit cards stands. Banks are replacing blanket usage spends versus that of spend-based model. So that means a certain amount, after a certain amount of spending on your credit card, you'll be able to access lounges. Secondly, they're also entering into direct partnership with lounges rather than using a middleman like Dreamfolks. And thirdly, of course, credit card penetration in India is as low as almost 5 to 6%, which has always been a problem. So considering all of this, this could have an overall impact on Dreamfolks going forward. So the question really is that if banks are trying to end their partnership or closing certain programs with them, will their going concern be under threat? And of course, if they're also planning to overall expand the non-lounge services, which is right now just 7% of their total revenue, how likely it is that they'll be able to scale at a larger scale. So these are the pressing concerns right now for Dreamfolks for sure.
Thank you for that, Mahima. I mean, we all had that conversation. That's why I'm bringing it up here with Harsh and Neeraj, where we spoke to the Dreamfolks management. And that's all right. These things happen in business. Just what I found a little surprising, and I don't know what you guys think, that when we asked the management very clearly, is this happening? They said no. Can this happen? They said no. Will there be an impact? They said no. And now it's happened. So,
I mean, I remember that conversation, Tamanna, wherein yeah, you're right. I mean, I don't have anything more to add, but for the fact that she said that there is not going to be anything on the anvil which could have a material impact. And well.
Yeah, and the disclosure today suggests otherwise. So yes, so clearly that story seems to have played out.
But which probably means that maybe, just maybe, this is not a done deal as yet. Maybe the stock could remain under pressure because now the street will start factoring in what if there are other cancellations.
How much more? The stock's down nearly 20% from the top.
Vineet, you have a view on...
A stock can be down 99% and still half further from there. I'm not saying Dreamfolks will do that.
Oh, yeah. No, Vineet, any view on Dreamfolks? I mean, simply, the thing is that cancellations like this can't happen in such a short span of time. Even if you were to believe that, okay, at that time there was nothing and then it just something is not sitting well. But just your view on Dreamfolks?
I think it's overvalued and their offering is limited. And there is a new IPO which is hitting the street, a QR IPO which has got a lot of, non-lounge revenues. So people would be switching into that, exiting from this.